Yo, Dark Humility here. You can always catch me at twitch.tv/Dark Humility for 6 to 7 days a week of Diablo 2 action. Right now we are playing PD2 in Season 5, playing hardcore, and we got this character to 99. Here we are presenting the new meta, the Staff Hardcore Sorceress. As you can see, she hits an astounding almost 2,800 health solo, even without perfect gear, and almost 900 mana. Crazy stuff. Of course, we can check out all of her gear, we can check out all of her stats, and I'll show you even some MF swaps, so you guys can check this out and make it yourself, and see if this stacks up to those shield, a storm shield, the shooters builds in your mind. And also exchange this staff for a Ming song if you want to be even more of an Iron Chad, but you don't have to. You can do exactly what I did here, and we'll explain the build as we go along so you guys can understand. We got an Infinity, a Stygian Pike, rolled very high. It's a solid base Stygian Pike. You want not like the slowest, but like decently slow bases for a lot of damage. So this is a very high damage base on PD2 because you can get really high attack speed values and with the rest of the gear, whereas it's very difficult to do that in LODs. So in general, the slower, higher damage bases are usually going to be a better choice, but that's not always the case though, especially if you're just looking for maximum attack speed and otherwise. But a lot of those faster bases, especially in PD2, definitely don't have as much damage. You should also check out Laying of Hands here. Laying of Hands, we got Laying of Hands with magic fun, so when you kill stuff, maybe you get some good stuff. Just got a pretty generic 815 string of ears here. We have a 19 DR upgraded Vampire Gaze with a generic attack speed jewel with some extra lightning res. Have a Fortitude with overall medium rolls. At Fortitude, you'll notice that the defense is a lot lower. It's because they lowered armor defenses across the board, and there's no e-bugging in PD2. So that's not a bad Fortitude. And then we have a Gore Riders. He could still be upgraded with a Cannot Be Frozen Corruption, maybe some more sockets, attack speed. You can use a Crown of Ages. There's a lot of things you can do here. Just got to make sure you still get a decent amount of attack speed and life leech. You can put Drax on. There's a lot of good options in general, though. Infinity on the Mercenary. This is a Defiance Mercenary, so it gives us 9% DR and 9 flat DR, which is really good, and it gives us the negative enemy light res and the ability to break lightning immunity on the Mercenary. Now, for the fun part. This is the ultimate Pimp Cane. Nothing gets more sexy than this. On our 99 Hardcore Sorceress here, we achieved greatness with this staff. I bought it, I traded for it on the Discord, did a trade for a Lightning Pierce Chromatic Ire, which is pretty awesome, and then we puzzle boxed it for 4 sockets, so we got lucky. And a Lightning Pierce Corruption is arguably one of the best corruptions you can get on a sorceress weapon. If you're a lightning build, because that is going to allow you to further lower enemy resistances, so when you do break those lightning immunities or when you encounter monsters with high lightning resistance, you'll be able to do significant amounts of damage to them and to be able to smoothly map through the game. It also rolled 2 lightning mastery. We upgraded it for the 20 extra FCR, if you guys don't know. The staves have base FCR based on if they're normal, exceptional, or elite. So upgrading it to the elite version will give you maximum FCR. And then we also got medium rolls on the maximum life and the all res. I had previous versions of these staves that inspired this build, including the very first one I found day 1 of this 99 hardcore push. And it had 25% maximum life, which could, like I said, it can jettison, just completely jet our life up even higher. So this build, you can get probably easily over 3,000 life with just your own buffs on this build, which is nuts. The major feature of this staff, though, besides the maximum life and the all-res, which allows this staff to be a solid choice for hardcore over Meng Song, which is definitely the more offensive choice, is going to be the slow movement on casting. I cannot overstate how effective that is in group mapping or doing dungeons, just slowing down those monsters, slowing down their projectiles, and for solo mapping as well. It's just a crazy thing. Got K. Hagen's Wisdom here as well. Got 3 lightning facets in here. We had 3 -5 lightning facets in this one, so it rolled 8 lightning pierce in this case. Got 3 perfect lightning facets in this one, though. It's a K. Hagen's, 2 skills, 3 sockets, and pretty good rolls. Just more lightning pierce, more damage, more power. I have a Shaco here. We used a couple of versions of Shacos along the way. This one's just not a nice balance of res, trying to keep our res up. Keeping your res up with a staff might be a little bit more difficult, but of course this staff comes with res, which makes it a bit easier. And then we're able to have DR and MF through that as well. Then we have a 3 skill amulet, FCR, Strength, Dex, Mana, all res. This amulet is crazy. We definitely didn't have it throughout the whole push, but man. Really allows you just to stuff every last point into vitality and just to maximize that life as much as possible, which is really cool. I mean, you might notice that if you get max block, I mean, you might be able to hit between like somewhere between like 1200, 1400 health, and you definitely have max block and you have DR and you have more DR and whatnot, but having 600 health just in general makes you so much tankier against that elemental damage in addition to the physical damage, which is awesome stuff. And then we have a 6 bow CTA and a +2 Lilith on swap. Of course, you can get a +3 if you want. Make that even better. I really like this. I did 2 bountiful crafts here on the belt and the boots. Really high life, some DR, MF, more MF. Bountiful crafts just have a lot of potential. You craft these by using some higher end runes. IO for boots, in this case L for belts, so these are runes that are a bit less common, and perfect topazes and jewels. And honestly, if you just want a ton of MF on your gear, bountiful crafts are always going to achieve it extremely effectively. Then we, of course, we have all res on the train gloves, FCR tri-res cannot be frozen ring, and all skills, 1 all skill, 20 maximum mana, MF corrupted Stone of Jordan, 117 FCR. Yes, you can get 100 or 200 FCR Lightning Sorceress as well, and with Meng Song it might be even easier because it has more FCR, so there's definitely the possibility to do that. But this is definitely a combination of a defensive and offensive approach here. Trying to get a decent amount of mana for a solid energy shield with 1 point into it, and then also just trying to max out your life as much as possible. Our resistances are solid, and you always want to make sure you have max res in hardcore. And then we got 42 FHR. Got a lot of other very important stats. Now this magic find might seem a little low, but maps boosted up. This is with the damage build though, so if we exchange these items, this would be good for like a map that has like negative res, just to make sure we have max res still. With the rest of these though, we have NMF, train gloves, geese. This is my MF swap. I have a lot of MF res charms and whatnot that I can just swap in and make sure that we still have max or near max res, and we get over 230 MF and almost 250. And when you get into maps with over 300 and diminishing returns, it's going to be a solid amount. Of course, we also have a whole suite of very high lightning lifers. We farmed Arcane the first week or so, got all of our wealth we could possibly imagine, got tons of high runes, and we just stuffed ourselves with as much life as possible. You'll notice that's why we have so much life, and why life is emphasized in addition to magic find and damage and FCR and power. Of course, this FHR GC we found in Arcane itself, so we actually found that one. And getting at least 42 FHR, maybe 60, is going to be very solid here. Life, all res, life, mana, FHR, mana, small charm. Pretty solid Annie. We got to 99 and a 5% experience, and you can get up to 15% though with a Rathma Tainted Worldstone Shard Corruption, so that's pretty sick. And I don't know, this is the first torch I was able to get my hands on. It was pretty cool. Very, very high torch there. And so yeah, once you, like I said, there's a lot of ways to get upwards of 3,000 life. You get 25% maximum life in a Chromatic Ire. You can put Jaw Runes even instead of an instant here. Get more maximum life. So you can see that getting over 3,000 life for group mapping base is possible. And then with Osage and Barbo, we were able to get 4,300 with just this build. And with like maxed out buffs and everything, I think you could get even like 4,500, maybe even 5,000 life on a Sorceress. If you play your cards right and just really focus on the life aspect. I also did balance the mana a bit. We didn't put any points in energy, but in the beginning when I didn't have as much mana, I definitely put some points in energy. As you can see, the damage is pretty good. It's definitely not maxed out damage though. This is definitely a hardcore staff approach. Level 44 Chain Lightning, pretty solid. I mean, with all this lightning pierce as well, 43 on my gear, and of course infinity on the mercenary. Having a conviction paladin and lower res makes it even better, which you can also get off of Ming Song, for instance. But overall, very powerful stuff, very strong. You can of course min-max the damage and be even more of a beast, no problem. So yeah, that's it. This is my gear. These are my gear swap outs. Can always get better gear, can always get more improvements, but this is the gear in general that we got to 99 with, and this is the gear that allows her to destroy solo maps. Check out the power of the level 99 hardcore staff sorceress. New meta, shield's gonna get you killed from high amounts of elemental damage. No more shields in Season 5. Take advantage of that chance to cast. Take advantage of how many awesome stats are on these staves. Because I never used a shield once, and I can tell you, you don't need it if you play your cards right, and you can try out awesome builds just like these, trying out Project Diablo 2. I am Dark Humility. I'll see you guys next time. Over. Oh wait, I forgot one thing actually. Before we get off, I showed off my stats quite a bit, and you saw my gear. But just keep in mind, there's also a couple of things you're gonna want to do on this build. So you're also gonna want to make sure you max out teleport, so that when you teleport, you reduce the penalty, the damage penalty, as much as possible. You're gonna want to do that. And that's going to be very important for arcane farming too, arcane sanctuary farming, farming those ghosts, those ultimate rune, charm, gem, jewelry, worldstone shard, puzzle piece, puzzle blocks, maybe even Lilith's mirror, loot tables, because they don't drop armor and weapon items. Those ghosts are good. You teleport around a lot though, and you want to be teleporting a lot and firing and killing instantly, or as close to instantly as possible. So you're going to max that teleport. I even like this in group maps, so you're always able to reposition, and for solo maps. And then maxing out all of the lightning synergies, one in a static field, one energy shield, and then at 99 just put some more points into telekinesis to make myself a bit tankier, one into shiver and one into warmth. See, I just remember the skill tree as well. But yeah, that's it. This is the beauty. Level 99 hardcore staff sorceress on PD2 Season 5. Number 4 Sork. She's a beast. See you guys next time. Smash it. Let's go.